Hey, this is Artie Astor with B Sharp and C. So I'm getting ready to do another Nightwish reaction. I am going through a lot of Epica stuff, but I don't want to just do Epica every day. I want to break things up. And I want to do bands that are actually closer to my heart as well. Not necessarily bands that I'm just discovering. Like this whole symphonic metal thing. Is a rabbit hole. I almost feel like it's a trap door, not a rabbit hole, because I've fallen in unawares of how amazing this is, and there's like no way out. Like it's like getting sucked into a black hole. There's so much to explore that I just can't do it all at once. So what I'm going to do is a song from Nightwish. This is their official live video for Shudder Before the Beautiful. It's 9 years old. And, I want to show you something real quick because this is important for people who comment. I don't want to sneeze. You just hear the passion behind these comments. I love how Empu brings the energy from the crowd. He always looks like he's having the time of his life on stage. Thomas has every right to smile in these videos, listening to his creation come to life. Now, when people comment, we learn, like myself, as I'm digging into Nightwish and discovering them basically through this show. These types of comments and the comments that you people leave on the videos that I release educate me. So it really highlights the importance of you commenting. If you think you have something to share, share it. I read all the comments and I've learned so much. I've learned so much about Nightwish. Thomas, who's really the mastermind behind everything. The drama that happened with Tadia and and the band, and then Floor having to learn the set list in 48 hours. And someone said to me, Artie, you should do a reaction to the do a reaction to the documentary, learn the set list in 48 hours. It's a 2-hour documentary. No one, trust me, and I just say this with all the love in my heart, but no one wants to sit there and watch me react to a 2-hour long um, documentary. Now, would I do something like that live? Would I put it on and then watch the documentary live and have some type of interaction with people? I would, but I'm also afraid that I'll get flagged. The rules for YouTube when you go live are different than what they are when you actually make a video like this, like a reaction video. Um, you get flagged a lot easier. You can have live streaming, sessions taken down and flagged because there's copyrighted material, whereas that same material, if I wanted to, I could make a reaction video to, and it wouldn't get flagged. So I don't know. Anyways, like and subscribe and listen to my new song, my own name. But enough about that nonsense. Let's go ahead and listen to this song here, Shudder Before the Beautiful, Nightwish Live. This is a cold reaction. I've never heard this performance before.
The deepest solace lies in understanding. This ancient unseen stream, a shudder before the beautiful.
Oh. I mean, you hear that horn. I know I'm pausing it already. You hear that horn start in the left ear and then end in the right ear. Great engineering. And what is that horn? Because Thomas does a lot of the operatic sounds through the keyboard. Was that him on the keyboard? Hear that harmonizing in the left and right air? I love that violin he's doing there. So I'm gonna say that there's someone playing a horn somewhere. Thomas does not look like he's doing that horn sound. Who plays trumpet on Nightwish? Nightwish does not have a permanent trumpet player, but professional session musicians are used for recordings. I hear something that sounds like a trumpet building up in the background. Hear the strings in the left ear. That's Thomas. Such good tone. All right, so that was a very interesting sound choice for Thomas on the synthesizer. It was a really higher pitched, analog sounding synth. Um, Very interesting, choice for a synthesizer sound. It kind of gave it an electronica feel, which I think is kind of cool. But Empu, in my opinion, will never be a shredder, and I don't want him to be. I don't ever, ever, ever want Empu to think that he should start shredding because he gives so much love and passion to every note and the tone. And when I say tone, I'm talking pinched harmonics to making the guitar scream, to making the guitar sound gritty, back to a pinched harmonic, back to some, but all of it just with an amazing tone. It's just he's got such good tone and every note you hang on to. And I don't ever want Empu to start thinking he's got to get up there and look like Eddie Van Halen. Because for as much as I think Eddie Van Halen was a master guitar player, um, and he wrote great stuff and he had great tone as well, there were moments in an Eddie Van Halen solo where I was just like, wow, this is fast. But I wasn't identifying with every note. Empu does something where it's like every freaking note he plays just hits me in the heart. And that, in my opinion, is harder to do than shredding. I think to make every note count and to make the audience kind of go on a journey with you throughout a guitar solo, that is really hard to do because shredders can shred. I've seen Slash up on the stage going completely nuts, and I'm like sitting here like, how does he do that? And it's amazing. And I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I can play guitar like that. Like not even half as good. Um, but I also don't stop and listen to Slash play a guitar solo and think, wow, look at what he's doing. Oh, he did that melody. Listen to that. I'm just blown away by how fast he is and what he's doing, but I'm never following every note like I am with Empu. That is a gift right there. Thinking like that, I don't even think you you learn that. I don't think you learn that. I think that's something that you just want. You know in your heart you want to write a good melody, and that's what he does. They always have something like this in their songs. Oh, the heck was that? Hear the horns? All right, so you hear the horns. Thomas is doing something extremely, dexterous on the piano. You hear whistles, which, Troy does play the whistle also. You see him playing the keyboard. And you still hear that keyboard, very dexterous. He's doing it with two hands, going in and out of chord tones. Then you hear these trumpets. I honestly researched this, and I don't know if they're doing this here, but this might be a pre-recorded trumpet that they have come in. So someone is actually triggering these samples, these sounds in the engineering booth and backstage somewhere. But when I was researching, does Nightwish travel with an orchestra, with a symphony? The answer was no. They don't travel, they don't tour with an actual symphony, but they do use a lot of pre-recorded tracks. So it might be pre-recorded tracks that someone is triggering. I honestly do not know what they're doing because I can't see it, but you hear really good trumpet, and that does not sound like a synthesized trumpet. Pilgrim shining bright, we are shuddering before the beautiful, before the plentiful, read the voyages, the music of this song, these silence between the notes, death and spirit and endless love, this vagrant islander, a pilgrim shining bright, we are shuddering. Oh, nice drumming. Sometimes I forget Floor has a very strong voice. Listen to the end of that word, and it's strong. It's strong. So much thickness, strength. Depth. Listen to how her voice stands out. It almost like jumps out in front of you. That's good engineering. These guys, yeah.
The
I mean,
deepest solace.
the fact that her voice and the bass player, God, Marcus, the fact that Flo's voice and Marcus's voice were at the same time and kind of close to each other in the headspace, right? They weren't completely on top of each other, but one was here, one was here. Um, Engineered and in my opinion, that's it's good equalizing when you really go in and get into the nitty gritty and just separate the voices so that we can hear each voice very distinctly. Woo, I don't know. You get a live performance like this, and you know it's something that I used to overlook until I started really getting into engineering, and then I would watch a live concert and be like, "Wow, these guys are great." These guys are great. And don't get me wrong, when I watch Pink Floyd live, they're great. You know, The Doors live, it's great. You know, The Kinks live, way back in the mid to late 60s, marvelous. Um, the band members are, they are the music. I mean, we can't discard them. Without them, none of this even exists. But the engineers and the producers, the amount of work that they put into making it so that it's seamless, we just hear it perfectly. But it's really it's not. It's not just them singing into channels and then, oh, let's put it together and synchronize the video and put it out to YouTube. It's a heck of a lot more than that, you know. And you hear it. You can hear like the drum hits being panned, the voices over here, and then the trumpet starting here and then ending here, but louder, right? It like oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I was researching why they don't have an orchestra on the stage with them. It's a logistical nightmare, and it's a great expense. So this is a great way for them to maybe keep a little bit more of the proceeds because they're working their butts off, and you know, a lot of money goes to the people working the stage, the producers, and everything else. You know, and you know, then the band splits the money. I know they're not poor. But it's a smart way to get more out of the show. You know, to do the orchestral stuff pre-recorded and have someone maybe triggering certain tracks at certain parts of the song. But you have to pay those engineers as well. There are engineers working the live, you know. Um, and they say it's you know, it's a logistical nightmare, and you know, Nightwish takes up a lot of stage presence. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I was researching Therion and I was researching Epica when they tour and they have an actual symphony orchestra with them. They have to take out loans. I'm not joking. They take out loans to pay for all of the people and the whole setup because it's that expensive. To just pay for the concert up front would be a lot. So they take out loans, they do the tour, and then they end up paying the loans back. I'm not saying the people from Epica and the people from Therion are having a hard time putting food on the table, but it is a business. And when you have to go into a concert and you know your manager or someone says, okay, for the orchestra and for this and for this and for this, we need X amount of millions of dollars or whatever. Yeah, it's tough for everyone to look at their own bank account and be like, okay, I can put up 5 million, and you know, I can see the logistical and monetary involvement in such a production like this. Anyways, comments, please let me know if you have anything, if I missed anything. I have been watching interviews with Thomas, Marcus. I've been watching interviews with Empu. He does actually speak English, but you know, in a lot of the other interviews, he's not. He's speaking Finnish. Um, but you know, I watched a nice interview with Thomas, and he said something that I always believe in when it comes to writing music. Because someone said to him that they quoted some lyrics to Empu and said, "Does this mean that?" And Empu was like, "It does to you. It's not what I meant, but if that means that to you, then that's good. You can interpret it any way you want." And it's weird because when I hear that from a musician, then I know that he gets the songwriting and being a fan. A fan might hear a lyric, or a fan might think he knows what a song is about, but the songwriter had something else in mind. And if the songwriter comes out and just explains something 100%, sometimes the person who latched onto it for the meaning that they understood gets let down. And they say, "Oh, that's not what I thought he meant, the other thing." Hmm. You know? So Thomas likes the fact that people come up with their own interpretation of his lyrics. And I think true songwriters like that. They like the fact that their song is going to mean something different for every fan. And they don't want to touch that. That, in and of itself, is special. Anyways, comments, whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter. I'll read it anyways. My name is Artie Astor. This is B sharp and C. And oh, a thing will be popping up over here. That's my new song. So click on it and listen to it if you want. Okay? Take it easy.